Yes, sir, Ski.
Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, man.
I go by the name of Hungry HD. And to my left, I have the incomparable.
It's Trump Maurice.
Absolutely. And together we form the Peace King podcast,
Peace King.
where we discuss health, wealth, relationships, and whatever else we feel like.
The big three.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir, Ski.
How you feeling today, man?
Life is good. Hey, man. Peace King. Yes, sir, Ski.
Yes.
Hey, man, life is good. I had a great week so far. Appreciate you asking.
Absolutely.
You know, my kids, they went out of town, bro. You know, they mom graduating with a master's. Constant achievement. You know what I mean? It's achievement.
Big up.
At the end of the day, you know, I'm still, although that we not together, I'm still proud of her as a human
Absolutely.
being. You know what I mean? We got to be that. What's the point of turmoil? Plus, we co-parent very well.
And that's a
You
blessing.
know, so I always wish her well. This is a milestone. So congratulations to you, my children's mom. Proud of you. Keep killing the game.
Absolutely.
And I try to be a good role model. I am a great role model for my kids, and I like the fact that she's doing the same.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. Salute
Salute.
to her.
Salute.
How was your week, bro?
Oh man, my week has been pretty busy, man. Pretty busy, nonstop. You know, met with another restaurant, so hopefully that's another restaurant account.
Hey,
It seemed like, I don't know, ever since Peace King started, I feel like restaurant accounts been popping off. So it's
hey,
like
man. Yeah.
it's coming together, man, really
like
nicely. And so just making sure we got, by now you should have seen episode 2. Episode 2 officially up
Yes.
on YouTube and Apple and Spotify.
Subscribe.
Yeah, so making sure we got that together, leveled up. You know what I'm saying? Again, like we said, evolution. We got
That's proud. Hey, man, I'm proud of you, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate
Constant
that.
achievement.
Proud of you, man.
And,
Proud
man,
of us.
you know, we in here. We in. That's another Peace King toast,
Hey,
man.
hey,
Hey, black
absolutely.
excellence. Or just
Absolutely.
excellence in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're in the game. I mean, we diving into it. Hey, man, so y'all heard the greetings and the salutations.
Yes.
And we hope that your week went well also.
Absolutely.
And episode 2, when I saw the edit on episode 2, it made the week get a bit more popping.
That's a fact.
Bruh, I
a
ain't
fact.
gonna cap. Like, to see that, technology is insane.
Nah, yeah.
And I love how we could use it to just make life more enjoyable. You get a great conversation, they just amplified that thing.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? Once I pressed play, you know what I mean? And it popped off, intro came in, I was like, oh yeah, we lit.
Oh, we in there.
We lit, yeah.
Hey, don't get it twisted. The intro, that's your boy. That's your boy, the Hungry HD.
Hey man, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. I mean, for some of y'all, and I appreciate those that caught Modesty's in, but when you hear the intro, you're gonna be real familiar with the song that you hear. You know what I mean? I feel like it set the tone and the vibe for what we doing.
Indeed. It was organic.
Yeah.
You had the joints and sent the things over, and that's a little behind the scenes. See, y'all the first.
Yeah.
So you're getting those that see this episode first understand being the first is just a cherishable thing here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So y'all know the origins of the song.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Ain't talent over here. He's not just a face, y'all. He actually has talent.
I try, man.
We
You
in
know
the
what I'm saying?
building.
I try.
Word. Hey, since we starting over shout outs before we jump in, I want to shout out to all the supporters on Instagram, those that followed me from day one and those that just followed this evening and those that are about to follow once they see this episode. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Hey, and especially my subscribers, bro.
Yeah, gotta shout the subscribers out because
You know what
the
I'm saying?
subscribers get to watch this as we taping it live.
Shout out to y'all.
And I mean, the biggest thing about that, outside of all other perks you get from subscription, you never know. For time's sake, you know, we might have to edit and cut some of these episodes. Things gonna get taken out.
Right.
But y'all, you know, y'all get to see everything that's happening. So y'all gonna see the full blown uncut episode.
Raw and uncut.
That's facts.
Hey, man, be like that.
That's facts.
All right, man. Hey, let's get into it, man. I know that we told y'all could send questions to the DMs. Peace King Pod DM,
Yes.
the Hungry HD DM, or Troy_Maurice DM. We're talking about Instagram when we say DMs.
Absolutely.
And we got some questions.
Let's get it.
I mean, I say we switch it up this week and start off with the question. Why not? We unpredictable over here. Yeah, I mean, one of the questions was, what is supposed to change after marriage? How's it going? You heard the deep side there. So for background, you've been married before, bro?
I have not.
Okay, I've been married before, 7 years. I'm not saying my answer is more correct than his answer. What I'm saying here is you're getting two different perspectives.
Yeah, which is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so hey, in your opinion, what do you think is supposed to change after marriage, bro?
In my opinion, I don't really think much is supposed to change outside of, the legalities of it all, right? And so when I say that, I mean, obviously you get the license, but, you guys become a joint, joint household. You get a joint account.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Right.
Both of you guys own property together.
Indeed.
Whatever business dealings you're into, you're probably going to be involved in. Life insurance, will, stuff of that nature. I think with the relationship itself, obviously with any relationship, it grows as time goes on. I mean,
Come on, man.
Any good relationship anyway. And so
Facts.
other than that, though, I don't really know what changes. And I feel like a lot of people, that's some time, in my opinion, where you could go wrong, where you feel like something is instantly supposed to change when you get married, because the reality is, if you're getting married, you've already built a strong bond, right? Like you started off dating.
I concur.
Right? Then you were in a committed relationship.
Indeed.
And then at some point you got engaged. So it's like, once you get engaged, you're most likely you're already making all the steps that you will be making, close to it when you marry, right? So it's like, I don't really know in my mind what else changes.
Okay. All right. So, hey, I've been married. I was married for 7 years. I've been divorced for about 4. I'm going to tell you this. What changes what's supposed to change when you get married? I ain't going to say supposed, but what could change? One, your name could change.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, present day, I have seen more times now than prior of women keeping their name.
Yeah.
I've seen that, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, different strokes for different folks. You do what you desire to do,
Right.
Especially if you get married at an older age.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes women are more okay or even inclined to keep their birth name, their maiden name.
Especially depending on like your profession.
Facts.
You don't want to change the name if you're in the medical field or teacher or what I'm saying, stuff like that. It makes it easier.
From a male's perspective, it is an honor though. When a woman changes her name to your name.
Yeah.
Even if it's hyphenated.
Yeah.
Now you have my name. But yeah, but besides the name, I think that at each stage, whether going from talking to dating to, to exclusively dating to now you putting titles, if not, you just have a mutual understanding that y'all are exclusive, and y'all in a whole relationship. And if somebody asks if you're taken, the answer is yes. There's that. And then you get the engagement. Now, I think engagement, it could be 1 day, it could be 1 year. I don't think engagement should go on for longer than a year, in my personal opinion. It's like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, the long engagements are kind of wild. People be engaged for like 5 years and it'd be like,
yeah. Like you're scared.
Y'all should just go ahead and break up.
Right. But what are you scared of? Another level of commitment? Then there goes the answer. What is supposed to change? I don't know. But does something change? Yes. Things change. Everything that you already mentioned, I think it is the financial benefits that come with marriage.
Yeah.
You could file taxes jointly. I'm more inclined. I bought the crib. I bought the condo, right? I go buy another one or buy a house. We could do that jointly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're the girlfriend,
it can't go down.
I don't know.
There's no benefits.
I don't know. Or even saying girlfriend sounds weird at our age, but nonetheless, if you're the significant other, let me use significant other. If you're the significant other, I think the difference between just being a significant other without the ring and being a significant other, now wife with the ring, you're on everything.
Yes.
You have access. You have unfettered access to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the team. That's the oneness that it comes with. There are no secrets. For me, my ex, when we were together, she had all my passwords, everything.
Okay.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero individuality when it came to the operations of the household and such.
Right.
Now, I mean, we have individuality when it comes to like other interests and friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She had her friends, I had my friends. We had joint friends, and it was okay. But I'm straying away from the point. The point is,
it's all valid. It's all
like, yo, we're supposed to change because that's how it was worded. I don't know if anything's supposed to, besides you living together and your level of trust. Honestly, open communication. I think it should. You should have that as a fiance. You should have that in a relationship. But I just think when you're married, it's just a whole nother. Ain't no breaking up, bruh. Yeah. And I say that, I know I sound hypocritical because I'm divorced, but I mean, ain't no breaking up. But at the same time, if after therapy, after years of trying, if one person is dragging you through it, then you might have, and y'all realize y'all are just not compatible at all because you grew apart or what have you. Then yeah, make the decision. But more times than not, marriage, and that's, I say years, and I said counseling, relationship. I mean, and therapy. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna do all that with just.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
A girlfriend, or boyfriend.
Definitely not.
But you owe it to yourself because you took a vow.
Yeah, the level, right? So overall, the level of commitment is certainly, I think, what changes. And the business aspect of it, right? But it's like, again, I just feel like your mindset going into it, once you make the decision that this is the person I want to be with forever, you already have it in your mind that the level of commitment is, at least you should, right? If you, you know, it would make sense, logically thinking, right? Which brings me to another point. I think that sometimes that's the problem. I think, which is a problem with a lot of things, you know, things that we face as opposite sexes. Women, I think, a lot of times view things from an emotional lens.
Yeah, I could see that.
And men view things from a very logical lens, right? So I think that that's part of the reason there's a lack of understanding and common ground, right? Because it's like your emotions tell you one thing. Your emotions tell you in marriage, all of these things are supposed to like change on a larger scale. When really, I feel like you're just building it up in your head more than it actually is, because again, you've already been walking this walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you're going to learn a person as time goes by, but you already know a great deal who this person, at least at their core, their foundation.
Right.
But once you start talking that talk as far as what you're saying, joint accounts and this and that, I think that sometimes rubs women the wrong way, because it seems like you're not emotionally invested into it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You're speaking
when you're not doing that prior to the marriage.
Well, when you're just pointing out all of the business advantages, you know what I'm saying? Like all of those advantages, and you know, and not pointing out the commitment part, which you just did. But a lot of times, as men, we don't necessarily lean on that. It's more so, like I said earlier, like I don't think much changes. You know, we get a certificate.
Right. And I think it's because we as men are going to do the things that a husband should do in a relationship, because it's just you being a man.
Yeah.
I take my woman out on a date, I'm paying.
Right.
Something happens, I'm protecting. I'm protecting my assets and my bread now, so I can be set up for when I, you know what I mean, when we take it to the next level.
Right.
Things like that. I'm working on myself, so I'm working on being the leader, being the provider, being the protector. And then our communication game, I'm trying to be the best lover I could be right now each time. So it's just going to get better and better and better and better. It's already great. but it's going to get better and better and better over time. So that whole lover, leader, provider, protector type of those four main characteristics associated with just being a man in general, being the best man that you can, I think, is being a great mate, being a great husband. Because it ain't, I'm sorry, it's just, in my opinion, if you're a great man,
Yeah.
you will make a great husband.
Yeah.
Easily. If you believe in gender roles.
That part.
You know what I mean?
That so when you started
that?
talking about the things that you're already doing before the marriage, like again, you're a great man, you're gonna want to be a great leader, you're gonna want to be a great protector. And that's what I'm saying. See, that's my point. So it was like, if I jump in front of a car for you in a dating relationship fiance phase, am I going to jump in front of the car harder? Like when we get married? Like if I pay the check, am I going to pay the check harder? Like dominoes, motherfucker. Like I don't like what exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that in a man's mind, I think that's what it is right there. That's the disconnect, because it's like, if I'm coming into this with the right mindset, I'm doing all these things already. I'm approaching it a certain way already. So nothing changes from that standpoint. Like we elevate it. We hear, we know, we said to the world, it's known, it's official. Like you said the other night, made you an honest woman, as the saying goes.
Honest
right?
woman.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I think it's mainly financial differences. And it's partially, like barely, the emotional and the intangible things. I think that's just more tangible benefits. There's your name goes on every emergency contact. You're on the taxes. You're on everything to pick up my kids from school. I mean, you might be on that before that, but I'm just saying, like, it's a guarantee. You my wife.
right,
It's different.
right,
You know what I mean? You wearing a ring when you engage? It's not tradition in America.
true,
Therefore, a woman will have to ask you if you're engaged.
yeah,
She likely ain't, but she has to ask you, are you spoken for?
right,
Whereas when I'm married, you can see it from afar.
right.
I'm taking. It's just differences. You know what I mean? There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just different.
And you know what? Maybe the real question is, are some people doing way too much before marriage?
Come on, man.
Like, are you putting his name on stuff before y'all married? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, are they on a lease? Or did you already put them on an account in your will? Like,
Yeah.
do y'all already own property together and your name is on it? Y'all moved in together already? Like, because now, if you're looking at it from that angle, then yeah, not much from that standpoint is going to change either. You won't see the benefits. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm thinking about it from, the emotional standpoint in that lens. So it's like, just maybe some things need to be cut back on and held to a higher regard when it comes to marriage, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is how you get access to this thing.
Word. Hey man, we in the game. I like I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I think it's a great segue into our next gig, our next topic. I mean, because when you're focusing on being the best man you can, to be the great husband, and everything that you're mentioning in regards to the changes or the things that don't change, that's something that you as a man got to think about. And that could come with pressures.
Right.
And those pressures, I mean, that's a lot on your shoulders to protect, to provide, to lead, and of course the love, and focusing on the love languages of everybody around you and such, so you know how to love in the right manner. But it could be heavy.
Facts. Very.
So that mental health game got to be on point, man.
It has to be.
Got to be on point. And I mean, it's May, so shout out to Mental Health Awareness Month. And we know that there are every human being, I think, regardless of the gender, mental health is important.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about men's mental health, bro.
Absolutely. I feel like super important. And jump into like men in therapy specifically, right? Like I feel like especially and at this point, even though this podcast is going to cater to people of all backgrounds, races, nationalities, so on and so forth, you know, we can't sidestep the fact that obviously we are two black men with the experience of two black men. We have, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we share. That's what we've been through in life. And so we got to speak to our community specifically on some topics. I feel like in this one, it's certainly one because we know the stigma that's come with mental health.
Yeah, man.
In our community. And I think, you know, as men, we're taught to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Don't show emotion. Don't cry.
Stoic.
You know what I mean? Like that's what you taught at a very early age. And as you go through life and dealing with different things, you don't even realize like the toll that it's taking on you and how much it's building up.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? And
that's facts.
I just recently, what made me realize, you know, I'll say this. When I was younger, I realized there was things going on, but I didn't have the education. I didn't have the awareness to be able to identify it.
Right.
So just like I knew I felt a certain way, I was off. I knew I had stretches of my life where I was just either down or just unhappy from childhood and things like that. But it was like it was a wave. You push through it. You keep it moving. It wasn't until a pandemic, which I feel like happened for a lot of people, that things really hit me hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just used to running. You know what I'm saying? Working, hustling. Even when I was just working 9 to 5, working 2 jobs, and, you know, just getting it in.
Right.
And once I had to, like, I was forced to stop and sit down, it was like, yeah, something like, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I need to figure this out. And so that was actually my first time going into therapy. I was always mad skeptical about it because I'm like, I guess the things people typically say, like, what is this really going to do for me? Like, just talking to somebody, just hearing myself talk.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? But it actually wound up being, you know, something great and beneficial.
That's what I'm talking about.
But what I will say, though, is my first therapist wasn't really all that great. And that's something that I don't think people, I had to learn. I learned after the fact. I was talking to people, they said like, oh, nah, yeah, you might have to look for a while. But that's something that, you know, definitely people should understand. If you haven't been to therapy, it might take you some time to find a therapist that's right for you.
Right.
And it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best thing comes, you know, to those who wait. And so have patience and move it. But it's so necessary, like I said, because of that. And also, you know, the suicide rate amongst men is 3 to 5 times higher than it is for women.
Bro. For real, man. Like I've done push-ups for that, especially for the veterans. Like, you know, we'll do like 22 push-ups a day for like, I believe it was the month of September, because it was like 22 veterans commit suicide.
Yeah.
You know, a day. And majority being men. And it's not just veterans, right? I just brought that up because it was a good cause I was a part of, and I like to do that. But to your point, 3 to 5 times higher.
That's crazy.
Than women.
Yeah.
Men, it is okay. You are a human being. You go through things also, just like women do. Therefore, it is okay, and we should champion and echo see therapy when necessary. Therapy can take on a lot of forms. Yeah. I do recommend seeing someone who's trained in it, trained in listening, active listening, trained in asking questions to help you reveal certain things that you may not have been aware of, to reveal those blind spots for you, to help to come up with different strategies, to promote certain coping skills or coping mechanisms and tools to use when those stressors are getting getting the best of you. So it's like, I highly encourage it. I've done it. And I think it worked out well. It let me see some of the blind spots. I'm sure there's still some there. I like the phrase, we're never fully baked. right?
I like that.
You know what I mean? You're never fully baked, or is, I believe it's General Patton. I don't know. I'm probably misquoting that one. But you've never arrived.
Okay.
You say you never arrived. And that's the thing. Like, that's what I constantly think of, right? It helps me stay humble. That I'm never the best version
Right.
of myself. Therefore, I'm striving to get better every single day.
Right.
And sometimes if your mental game isn't right, you gotta figure it out. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, hey, maybe if it's not as dire as you know what I mean, you may think or what have you, and you can figure out some certain coping skills with those stressors, cool. All right, that works well. Go fishing, go play basketball, play Xbox game, go play with your kids, play catch, you know what I mean, listen to music, go lift weights, whatever it is that you need to do to get back to, you know, get your equilibrium on point, right? To get back to center. Do that. However, getting it out, venting, if you will, to someone who's not going to hold it against, even like if you're venting on a certain person,
Yeah.
or about a certain person,
yeah.
they not going to hold it against you. They don't even know them
Right.
like that. I think that serves, a great purpose. I think that's worthwhile.
Nah, it absolutely is. Like, you know, because you start realizing, like you said, blind spot, you start realizing things that you weren't aware of before, right? Like you start understanding why you behave certain ways. You know what I'm saying? Why you have certain reactions, or why you're triggered by, you know, certain events. And which makes it easier to make a change and prevent those things going forward. Because now you know, now you're aware. The more you know. I remember
Come on now.
ABC or NBC. So,
The more you F around, the more you find out.
right. So
F around and start revealing and talking about your inner thoughts and such, right? Your
Yeah.
inner feelings. Say them things out loud. You know what I mean?
yeah, so when
the
it
more
starts
you gonna find
happening in real time, it's like, oh, that's that thing. You know what I'm saying? Then you
Come on,
can
man.
calm yourself down more. And like what you said, which I feel like is very important, because this is one of the things that made me tap into therapy, coping mechanisms and coping skills, right? So you want to get healthy coping skills and healthy coping mechanisms. I feel like
That's the key.
I realized I had coping mechanisms, but they were unhealthy. And that's what made me go, yeah, this is not. And one of my coping mechanisms, I'll say right here.
My
Listen,
man.
it was women, right?
Ladies man over here. Yeah. Mhm.
Women. I mean, you got to throw sex in there. Might as well just say
Come
that
on, man.
part, right?
You speaking facts. Keep it real.
That's
Keep
one
it
of the things.
wow.
And it would be like, I would have a bunch of shit going on, things to do, things I needed to tackle. And it's like, in some moments, I would find myself wanting to have some type of companionship, or wanting to be with somebody, call somebody over. And then I just started noticing a pattern, like, why is this always happening like this? You know what I'm saying? And then when it started like taking a step higher, I didn't really necessarily even want to be with the person. Like, I didn't really want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like,
After the little high or whatever of the intimacy.
so it was like, yeah, you
Skedaddle.
call them over, they come over. And it got to a point where it's like, when they on their way over, I'm like, yo, wow, why I even call them? Like, why am I doing it? Like, no disrespect. If any of y'all might watch this.
Abort.
Right. This is my shit. Not
Abort
your
mission.
shit. I'm being, again,
Yeah.
safe space, being vulnerable. So, and then especially even if you did want to do it, it's like then after it's over, like you said, post-nut clarity, right? To say like,
Post nut clarity.
it'd be like,
PNC.
I feel worse than I did, you know what I'm saying, before it happened. I'd be like, this ain't it, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't it. So that's definitely one of the things. And it's just my energy too. Like my energy, and I was having a hard time. I've always been like a very creative person. Always been able to tap into that.
That's lit.
But there was point in times where I couldn't. Like I couldn't get the creativity out. Like I would sit down, just scramble. You know what I'm saying? Brain just scramble. Bunch of things running through my head, but I couldn't get it out. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it was like, yeah, this is an issue too. You know what I mean? So all of these things, and then realizing that I had so much loss and grief. You know what I'm saying? Like people passing that was super close to me. Some like people that I felt like when you talk about unconditional love and reciprocation and people who match your energy. If I had 4 of those people in my life, if I had 5, 3 of them died. You know what I'm saying? So it was like
sorry to hear that, bro.
Early too and abruptly. Appreciate that.
That's why.
Yeah. So it's like, and then at the same time going through this, stuff with my son's mother, and going through family stuff. Then I had some business stuff that went left, all at one time, and it's just like no time to. This is another thing why it's important for men to get in therapy. Like you feel a weight of needing to provide, right?
Right.
You don't feel like you have the privilege to take a break and grieve or stop or reflect because it's like
you got to be tough.
Who gonna pay these bills?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
The landlord don't
life goes
hear that.
on.
Right.
Everybody has problems.
Exactly.
We're all fighting some sort of battle. You are not allowed to take a break. But sometimes you got to take a knee.
But that's when all of those things you were taught and programmed at a young age start playing in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the shit you just said. Like, suck it up. You know what I mean? Get to it.
Why is your problem more than someone else's?
It could always be worse.
Listen.
I like that saying because I know what it represents. But I don't like that saying at the same. I'm 50-50 because every time people say that to me, especially if I'm going through something, my reply is always, but it could always be better too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not looking at it from the perspective you're looking at it.
I never heard that. I like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you looking at one side of it. I'm looking at this other side, fam. You know what I mean? Because I know what that is already. I've been there. I'm trying to break through to this next level. Like, and how do I get there? That's what I'm focused on. And sometimes too much, sometimes to a fault. But it's still the way my mind works, which again, talking about therapy, you start to understand that some of your self-talk and your thoughts aren't healthy. Because sometimes maybe you're being too hard, too critical of yourself.
Factoids.
You know what I'm saying? So all of these things,
amen,
and so much more. Because I mean, let's not again when we talk about being a black man, let's bring into the systemic part of it. Let's bring into how much harder it is as a black man to accomplish all the things in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
man.
To get a job, to
the odds are against us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you already at a disadvantage at times, right? Studies have shown that children thrive more in a 2-parent household. Whereas in our community specifically, you mentioned black man, around 66% of young black youths are raised by a single mother.
Yeah.
You're already at the majority with that statistic are at a disadvantage. Not saying they cannot thrive. It's just that they're at a disadvantage. Others are starting at the 20-yard line. They're starting at the goal line, going that away. They are at a disadvantage. They can still win the race, just at a disadvantage. Nonetheless, like, we in the game. That's where it's so important that even if you are not in the 2-parent household and you are operating in a co-parenting fashion, be on point with the other co-parent.
Right.
See that as so important to the development of your child that you are going to put aside the simple, like the dumbness.
Right.
Like this is a menial, like this is a nothing right here in the grand scheme of we got to raise a human being to be a productive member of society.
Right. And that's that actually was bringing me to something else I was thinking about right on time, because it prepares you and it makes you be a better role model, right? And to become a better leader. Solid
mental health. As a man,
partner.
it's important for us to be leaders in our community, especially when we just gave the stat about the single.
Yeah.
So maybe some of these young youth are not, don't have a positive male role model.
Bro, look at where we are right now as a culture and the disconnect between black men and black women. And how, just there's so many questions. And every time you look up, especially on social media, it's always like a man versus woman thing.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Which is one of the reasons why we started this podcast, because our hope is to bridge that gap. We hope to have
Sir,
conversations and invite, just forward progress when it comes to that. Invite perspective, have healthy dialogue, and come closer. But my point was, a big part of the reason why we're where we are is because the absence of the father in the home, or just poor mental health, right?
Poor mental health.
If a lot of women are wondering, what the issue is with black men. If he didn't have a father. If the dude didn't have a father, he wasn't given an example of how to be a man. Or if he had a man in his life, and it's now what we call toxic. It wasn't called toxic back then. It was just called being a man. You know what I'm saying? So if it was toxic, this is the man who that was the boy who became the man that's out here now. And when you were younger as a girl, you thought it was cool. Some of these same women tell their sons the same thing today. Don't cry. But you out here looking for a man that's emotionally mature and ready. So basically, you're raising the man that you don't want. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, men are doing that too, obviously, like I said, because the men that are around, sometimes they have that energy. And so this is why it's that the mental health is super duper duper important, right? Just men being around, period.
Yeah. Men, we need you to be mentally on point. You may not always be mentally on point. Seek out the mechanism you could use. Mental health. There's a lot of free mental health out there too.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable going in person, there's virtual mental health therapists out here.
That's
you know what I mean? Like you talk about the suicide rates being 3 to 5 times higher. I think if you dial 988, it's the National Suicide Hotline.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain.
I think what we got to do in this,
it is certain.
This episode,
it's certain.
We gonna post some of this stuff in the caption.
Yeah, it's certain. And because I said that out loud, I gotta confirm that.
Because here's the other issue with, as a black person, a lot of times you want black therapists.
988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Help is available. Speak with someone today. Look at that. All I did was type in 988 hotline. Verify that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Suicide and crisis lifeline.
And then I typed it into Google and look at the option to hit the dial button. You see how easy that is?
1, 2, 3.
Got him.
1, 2, 3.
Not the number 1, 2, 3.
Not the number 1, 2, 3.
He just saying this as easy as that.
ABC.
988, bro. You can even text it.
Oh, that's fire.
Come on, bro.
That's fire.
We dropping gems over here. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we dropping gems over here. Come on, man. I gotta use it. I ain't using it.
Yeah, let's go.
We dropping gems over here, yo.
Turn up.
I get excited off of that. When we talk, when I feel like that's a transformational point for somebody that may be listening, bro.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes I can get passionate about it, so I'm just, apologize in advance.
As you should. They need that energy. Because every time, again, like we said, like in the tagline of this pod, and when you read the description, we said health.
Indeed, health,
wealth, and relationships. So a lot of people tap in because they want to hear the relationship stuff, which is always going to be a hot topic, and that's always going to be in every episode. But we got to stay true, and we got to, we doing what we said we was going to do. And at the same time, you got to tap in and understand that it's not always fun. Even I feel like we making it fun still. We still got our jokes in there as well. But tap in and get some real conversation. Like, that's the only way we really going to, get somewhere.
We got to evolve. It's a constant upward trajectory in life.
Yeah.
Achievement.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a noob, so, achievement in every field of human endeavor.
You gotta want to be
fundamental
better,
purpose.
Man. Gotta want to be better.
Shout out to the noobs. I say, yo.
Shout them out.
But yeah, man, hey, I think it's super important. Being a role model, I say, hey, be a mentor, seek out a mentor. No, have a mentor, be a mentor. You know what I mean? And then making sure your mental game is on point. That's paramount right there.
Absolutely.
Like that's on. And when you're a mentor and you're leading in that role, you're naturally leading. We talked about being a man. That's it. And that will translate to leading your family.
Right.
Your friends. Every relationship that you will have. Being that leader.
Because just because you have the ability to lead, that don't mean you're a good leader. And so that's the part we got to recognize and realize, because a lot of men going to be like, oh, I know how to lead. I lead. Yeah, but how are you leading? What are you leading? Is your leading effective? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you putting out into this world?
Come on,
you know what I mean? You making a carbon copy of the toxic bullshit you want. Like we need more of that. We don't need no more of that, fam. We good on that. You know what I mean?
Right.
We good on that. Let's change the game.
Word. Nah, that's a good one. Hey, man. You want to break it up or you want to keep it rolling, man? We could. What you want to do? How you feeling?
I need some ice and everything. So
Where
let's
we
take
in
a quick
that?
little
Hey,
break.
man, that was the first half right here. Y'all
Yeah.
already know how we doing. We cook it right now, but we're going to take a quick little pause. You know what I mean? We're going to get right back with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, this is the Peace King podcast. It's your boy, Troy Maurice.
Hungry HD.
You already know what time it is.
Yeah.
Are you ready to unlock the secrets to a happy and fulfilling life? Looking for a safe space to discuss health, wealth, and relationships? Well, look no further, because Live with Trell is here. Join the charismatic host, Trell, as he dives deep into topics that matter most, creating an atmosphere of love, understanding, and positive vibes only. Live with Trell is your go-to destination every Tuesday and Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming exclusively on Instagram Live at Trell_Maurice. Whether you're single or in a relationship, this show is for you. It's a judgment-free zone where we celebrate love in all its forms and embrace different perspectives. Get ready for thought-provoking conversations that will empower you to live your best life. From expert advice to personal stories, Live with Trell covers it all. Live with Trell is more than just a show. It's a community of like-minded individuals coming together to spread love and support one another. Get ready to experience the power of love, positivity, and personal growth with Live with Trell. Yes, sir, Ski. We in the game, coach, man. We back.
Yeah.
Quick little intermission. You know what I mean?
Facts. Back like we never left.
You know what time it is?
You know what I mean?
Hey, man. So that first half, we had some great topics. We dove in a little bit, you know. Sometimes you need that. You need that real talk. You need that deep talk sometimes. You know what I mean? Speaking on the marriage game and what you can expect or you think you should expect. And then leading into the mental health game, specifically for the men. I think that was clutch, man.
Major key.
I think those are major keys, definitely. We appreciate y'all. We look forward to hearing y'all comments on that first section. But now, we shall transition.
Where we going, man? Like the tone of your voice make me
I'm
feel
just
like
saying, but yeah,
things switching up.
it's switching up. It's lighter topics. It's a lighter topic. Doesn't mean it's better or it's worse. It's a different feel. You know what I mean? We had to recharge our glasses. We had to come back. Hey, man, Peace King. Peace King.
Absolutely.
We in the building, one time for the two time. So, I mean, but with that, we had some questions. The question was, why do men may smash once, the one night stand, if you will, and the ladies don't hear from them again? You know, why do men smash and dash, or what's the logic between the one night stand that was not agreed upon?
Yeah.
What you say, man? I mean,
This could go so many different ways. So, I mean, I hate to start off right here, but we guess we gonna come in hot, man. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
coming in hot.
Coming in hot, man. You know what? I'm not gonna start there. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna start here.
Go ahead.
Listen, there's an epidemic out here
Talk to him.
that I've discovered through my lives and having different people come on, whether it's sex and intimacy coaches and people who specialize in this and have stats and can come with all type of information. And ED is outside at a high rate. And amongst young men at that.
Not the Viagra.
So sometime ladies.
Not the Blue Chew.
Sometime ladies, it ain't you. Here's one thing that I feel like people do it in general.
What
But
they do?
I get this energy from women a lot, and they internalize a lot of, like, I don't say everything, but when things go wrong, it becomes a why not me situation. Or, you know, even I've gotten this question a lot, and I hate this question.
What's the question, bro?
I hate this question. I'm pretty sure you got it because I feel like it's happened so much.
I mean,
You break up with a girl,
Uh-huh.
or you stop dealing with a girl. You dealing with a new girl, and the old girl find out about the new girl, and then you get the question like, "What does she have that I don't have?" Or it gets specific sometimes, like, "Is she better than me at this?"
Oh, wow.
Or was that better than what I? You know what I'm saying? It's like, for me, it's a turnoff when I get those questions, because I be feeling like, yo, have some confidence. Let's have some pride about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it make me look at you
Yeah.
differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But not to hold on, because I know you about to probably go into that topic. But
Nah. But
I you know, as far as the men, again, not you know, smashing and dashing, I feel like a big part of it is that. A big part of it is the whole lack of performance. You know what I'm saying? Something he's not being able to perform or come through in a clutch in that way. The flip side,
the flippies. He said it'd be like that sometimes.
your box could be trash. You know what I mean? Like that. I mean, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, it could be. I'm not saying 100%.
All right.
That's why I led with the other one. Cause
Okay.
and there's some other ones that I'm gonna get into too after my brother talk, but it could be that you was off. in
It's
some way.
possible.
It's possible. And he just didn't know. He didn't have the emotional maturity, or he didn't know how to approach you and say like, yo, I wasn't feeling this, that, and the third.
Come on, man.
So he just exited stage left, because that's the easier route to take.
It is. Yeah. I hear you. So I agree with those points. Those are some solid points. I'm going to add just different points for the sake of conversation.
Let's do it.
I say that we talked on mental health. Maybe he's in a different mental headspace.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, I mean, sometimes their coping could be just finding love randomly and unhealthily,
Right.
if that's a word.
Right.
But it feels
It's a
right
word
in the
tonight.
moment.
That's a fact.
But what I'm saying is some men may have used you, if you will, for a temporary pleasure to cover a pain of sorts. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, and that's an unfortunate thing, but you could have just been a casualty of war in a battle that he's going through in his head.
Absolutely.
Bro, that was a bar.
That was a bar. That was
You playing that way. You might be a casualty of war in a battle that he's fighting in himself.
fire.
It's not your fault.
It's not.
Baby girl, you might have been collateral damage.
Yeah.
Collateral damage. You see these military terms I'm throwing out here.
Yeah, you see it,
They're
right.
very relevant to the convo. You might have been collateral damage, and it might have been unintended with no malicious intent. That man could just be battling something inside of him, and you were just you just happened to be in the line of fire.
Yeah.
And it's an unfortunate situation. No one likes collateral damage. In wartime, people don't purposefully attack civilians. They have a mission. They have an objective, and it's to heal. But in that healing process, you may have been collateral damage. So that could be one reason why. That could be one
That's
reason
actually
why.
a great that's a great point, bro. Because again, like I spoke about in the earlier topic, I feel like I don't necessarily know that I've been exactly there, but I've been there to some extent. And at the same time, you know, it makes it even tougher because, again, prior to therapy for me, it's like you're not even aware of like what you're doing. Like you're doing stuff and don't even really know why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like this feels like what I should be doing right now, so I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then after you do it, it don't feel good. And so it's like, all right, I'm not doing that again. Yeah, but then you do wind up doing it again anyway, but it's like a vicious cycle until you find a way to correct it. And so, again, that's why I brought up the point of ladies not reading into that too much, you know what I'm saying, all the time. I don't want, women to think every single time that it's something that they did, because it's not a you problem, all the time.
It's not. I mean, it could be, sometimes it could be super light. It could be as simple as the opportunity was there.
That too.
And whatever it is, it could have been boredom, it could have been alcohol induced, it could have been some other, vice of choice induced. Nonetheless, opportunity is reasons why people hook up sometimes.
That's a fact.
You could be out and about and not even expect a vibe like that. And then the opportunity presents itself. And you could be flirting with a situation, like you in a situationship over here, it's developing, and you have an opportunity on someone that you are sexually attracted to, but you don't want anything to go further. And you actually entertain that opportunity. And then it was what it was. And you go back to life, back to reality. Yeah. But you enjoyed that opportunity.
Facts.
And that's a one night stand.
You used a very key word right there, though.
Come on, man.
You used the word expect. So sometimes that's the problem, too. Sometimes you have expectations that aren't aligned with the other parties. So you expected to get a call back. He never had expectations of calling you back.
Expectation management.
So that's why sometimes you need to be very clear.
Yes.
Before you embark on that journey.
Don't open them legs unless you know what the intentions are.
That part, because it's like, one thing I pride myself on, I feel like throughout my career, you know what I mean? Let's
real quick, my bad, bro.
Nah, you good.
But I'm not gonna let the fellas off the hook. Fellas, declare your intentions and see if she's on point.
Facts.
You know you need consent, whether it be verbal or nonverbal.
Absolutely.
That consent needs to be there. At the same time, I think it's fair and mature to keep it real. Hey, if we embark on this, I'm just letting you know that I don't plan for this to go much further.
Absolutely.
Are you still down for Pound Town?
And
we in the game, coach.
But no, actually that leads right into what I was getting ready to say, because throughout my career, I pride myself on the fact that I've kept it 100. Like, I was always very upfront about what my intentions were. It's like, yo, if I'm looking for nothing serious, like I'm not looking for nothing serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we could chill, we could have fun.
Right.
It is what it is. Like, wherever it go. But I'm not, if I just was in a space where I definitely was not trying to be in a relationship at all, I say that too. Like, I have no intentions of being in a relationship. Like,
yeah.
So choose your adventure.
That's emotional maturity, bro. And that's a thing that some of our sisters out here be complaining about, the lack of emotional maturity in some men. But keep it real, keep it 1,000, keep it a buck, whatever phrase you want to use, that is a sign of emotional maturity.
It is. But you know what that just brought me to? That's why I love these topics, because it brings you into so many different lanes and so many. It could break the branches, just break off into so many different ways.
I said it episode 2. It's a moving target sometimes.
Facts. That's
you feel
a fact.
what I'm saying?
That's
we in the building, coach.
That's a fact. And so for the brothers, man, like for the men, I challenge you to keep it a buck.
Yes, Oski.
Because what you said right there about it being emotional maturity, I received that, and thank you for that. At the same time, though, I gotta be real. That was part of it, but because part of it for me was I never wanted to be responsible for like dragging somebody along or hurting somebody
Right.
intentionally. Like I never wanted that. And I think it's just because of probably my own, experience with disappointment and not liking the feeling. And like, so I never wanted to put nobody in that position. So it's like I made it very clear. And then like at this point, like it's on you. And I still would kind of feel bad sometimes when the shit go wrong, but still it's like, I told you. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying true to what it was. But the other side of it for me was too, I'm not going to act naive. I'm humble, you know what I'm saying? And gracious, but I'm not naive.
Right.
I understood that I probably had an easier time and maybe a little more access.
Genetic advantages. That's what we call them. I call them the GAs.
I like that.
It's the GAs.
I like that.
Some of us got GAs. Some of them got GAs. Hey, it is what it is.
I like
Genetic advantages. I'd say I consider myself. I mean, I've received a lot of compliments in life. I consider myself a good-looking guy, although I'm 5'8". Okay, therefore, someone who's 6 feet or above may have a genetic advantage. Doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna win. We talked about that earlier. When someone has an advantage, don't mean they're gonna win a race, but they got an advantage because of the likelihood or the likeness thereof of taller individuals. But it's a genetic advantage. Let's keep it real. Pretty privilege, handsome handouts. It's a real thing. Maybe we'll talk about that on a later episode. But my bad, I digress.
like that.
Go ahead,
you're
go.
good. It all makes sense. So I had that realization at a point in my life, and so I understood. You know what I'm saying? Like I understood that I probably could say some certain things, and it probably still work out my way. You know what I'm saying? If it didn't, so be it. But that leads me to my next point. Some dudes don't have the same self-esteem or confidence. Because just like I'm not naive, they're not naive. So they understand who they are, what they're working with, or they understand at least what society has told them they are. And so it's like they don't feel like they can do that because nobody's going to rock with them if they keep it real. But I'm here to tell you,
Talk to him.
in the words of the great Maury Povich,
All right.
that is a lie. You know what I'm saying? A lie to take the test determined, that is a lie. Like,
a lie.
trust me, brother. Trust me. It don't matter. At the end of the day, if you keep it 100,
Keep it 100.
somebody's going to rock with you.
It's confidence. It's certainty. I am certain in the human that I am. I am confident enough to let you know to keep it real with you and to believe you still gonna rock with this.
Right.
You still gonna want this here. Here's the thing. Some men may challenge it like, yo, no. I tell them what they want to hear to get what I want to get. They may seem that as playing the game. I got game. I speak sweet nothings to get the sweet everythings. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him.
Nonetheless, the real G, the real man, they got all the, you know what I mean, the gifts of game, if you will, is the one that can keep it 100
Hundo.
and still get his desired outcome.
To quote the great poet Nasir Jones,
Come on, man. Let's go.
It Was Written album. I believe the track is Watch Them Niggas.
Okay. Now we gotta blur that out.
I guess I could have said Watch Them N-word, right?
Actually, I don't know if it go on YouTube. I don't know.
Nah, YouTube is good. They do YouTube. They do it, whatever. But I
okay,
mean, we can
never
still
mind.
beep it
No,
out.
we don't
Whatever.
gotta beep it out. We don't gotta beep it. Next time, just give me a warning. You know what I'm saying? That's how to give me a warning. Well,
I got you. I got you. We lit. No. I got you. Because I mean, that's fire too. The beep sound add effect.
That is kind of low.
It
That
add
is kind of
effect.
lit.
So
Like watch them.
matter of
know what I'm
fact, cue it up because I'm about to.
All right, go ahead.
So
We in here.
the bar that I always love, and I heard this. I think this album came out '96, so that
Yeah.
would have made me about 16. I think
Okay.
the bar is, "I got no game. It's just some understand my story."
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
We in the building.
Like, listen, when I heard that bar, even at that age, I said, "Ooh,
That's a bar.
Yeah, he talking." You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
Shout out to
that's what it
Nas.
come down. You be surprised. Actually, a lot of times it work in your favor because there's so many dudes out here running with the BS that when you keep it 100, it's refreshing
Keep it
for a woman. And at the same time,
Keep
too,
it 100.
little do you know,
Come on, man.
not every woman wants to be in a committed relationship. Not every woman wants to be tied down. Like some women don't mind being in a casual situation. Some women want a one night stand. They just want to feel safe, feel like, you know, they're respected. They feel like it's going to be worth their while. By you keeping it 100, you opening up the access.
You give them the opportunity to choose.
Exactly.
That's big. They may be in that same space or season that you're in,
Absolutely.
and that's okay.
Absolutely.
We're not promoting being promiscuous galore.
Absolutely.
We're
not.
just saying you may be in a certain season that you don't want to be in a committed relationship, and that is okay.
Absolutely.
Just keep it real. Therefore, the question we got asked, why do men just smash and dash? You know what I'm saying? You can eliminate the question by just keeping it real. But again, I mean, the answer, we already answered it already.
But
Straight up and down.
before we do that, though, because there's some things that I do want to tap into. I was
Hey,
waiting
man,
until we
we
did all
here.
that before I went here because I know this is about to go a little left. So I know I spoke about sometimes your box might be trashed. So I don't want to just gloss over that because we need to stay. Let's stay there
box
for a
is
little
not
second.
boxing, he said. You know what I'm saying?
The box is not
I
Roy
got
Jones.
a horror story or so or two.
Oh, we
but I don't
need.
know.
Oh yeah.
I only. No, I got two. I got
We ain't
two
even have
horror
no story
stories.
time today, so I think that'd be
Oof,
appropriate.
man.
You want me to finish or you want to tell the story first?
Nah, go ahead.
All right, so look. Listen. When I say the box might be trash, the box itself might be great, might be okay. But I think that sometimes we forget that sex is such. I don't want to put a percentage on it because I don't know the percentage exactly. But I like to believe it's like 70, 80% mental. You know what I'm saying? So
I never really thought about that.
there are probably some things that maybe you are doing wrong or not doing at all that may be turning that person off. You know
I
what I'm
know
saying?
it's mental, but I never thought of the percentage though.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
that's the thing, right? Like when you think about the women that you've been with that you've had amazing sexual experiences with.
Yeah, mental stimulation.
Yeah, like when you break it down, because women ask that question a lot. Like, how does it feel for y'all? How do you know if it's good box? And the thing, again, when you start thinking about that and you think about the ones that are great, have been good to great, the differences aren't necessarily how the box itself felt. It's about everything that came with it, right? Like it was about how you guys interacted, the chemistry between you two, how not pre-sex, right? Like the mental stimulation before sex, but even during the process, how they get, you know what I'm saying? Like what their energy was, what kind of confidence they had. Did they talk they shit or not?
Come on
like,
now.
were they, you know what I'm saying? Did they take control at any point?
Command and
Like,
control.
exactly. You know
Every
what I'm
now and
saying?
again, it's not bad now.
Exactly. So like,
See too.
it's a lot of Patrick the Stars out here too. Starfish is just laying out, no motion.
No bullshit.
He's stroking away.
They just chilling.
You giving no energy off.
Sheesh.
Some of y'all, sometimes it feel good to y'all, but you don't want to make no noise. I don't know what that's about.
What are you doing?
In the words of the great T.K. Kirkland, who raised you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who taught you this, but it's not the vibe.
Not the vibe.
It's not the vibe.
Not the vibe.
Where's
Wait
that?
a minute.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you?
What are you doing with your life?
What are you doing? And it's that. And then sometime we can't skip over this. You might have that not so fresh feeling. Like sometime maybe it's not correct down there. You know what I mean? So that
Get the
that could be-
pH balances on point.
Get
There's
the
a lot of
pH
things that can affect the pH, but you got to make sure this is on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you utilize the latrine, if you use a restroom, and you get a whiff for yourself, just know that others can smell that as well, okay? Let's take care of that. There's a lot of things you
Facts.
could do, okay? You could pop a little dissolving little pill or something like that in that thing. Refresh that thing. Whatever you need to do, take care of yourself. Now, we know with the pH, it could be a dude who's out here in these streets that jacking stuff up. Nonetheless, take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
And if you know that thing got a little twang. It might have a little twang when you taste that thing, but nevertheless,
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that twang. Shoobop, 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 shoobop.
I'm just saying, that thing is a little sour. It's a little Sour Patch Kid down there. I'm gonna need you to watch what you're eating and watch the pH, the Papa Hotels. You need to get that thing on point. Come on, man. Hey, come on,
I'm
y'all.
gonna have to start keeping some tissue on that. This is getting crazy out here. You know what I
That
mean?
thing got that twang.
Yeah, so it's so many different reasons it could be, man. You know what I'm saying? Like again, ladies, I just want to say, don't be too hard on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you somebody like if you know that your pH is right, you know you don't have no odors going on.
Yeah, man.
If you know you are engaging, and if you are, stimulating him and being interactive,
Yeah.
then it could just be him. You know what I'm saying? And then also, it don't hurt. Maybe ask him, like, hey, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why is it something I did, or you know what I'm saying? And then if it's up to him. He got to be grown man or he not. He gonna tell you what it is, or he gonna do kid shit.
Is you is or is you ain't? Yeah, man.
My baby.
He gonna keep it real.
That's a
Straight
fact.
up and down.
Yeah.
Hey, and taking care of yourself. You got anything else on that one?
Nah, go ahead, man.
Taking care of yourself, bro. That don't come with no age. Ain't no age limit.
Oh, nah,
It
not
be
at all.
young ones, it be old ones, all of that. You know what I mean? And then dudes, you gotta know that if you sleep with a lot of women and then you can throw a woman's pH off. But nonetheless,
You can.
there's no age limit or whatever, what have you. But with the age limit thing, it does lead to another point though.
Talk about it.
Another question.
Oh, you know what? I feel like we might be going into this segment. So, as we told y'all last week, every week we're gonna do a segment
Yes, Sirski.
called. Are we gonna do the peace offering? I feel like the peace offering might be better because be his peace. I feel like it's too specific.
Hey man, I'm rocking and rolling.
So
Well,
we're gonna
whatever
call this the
fits.
peace offering.
The peace offering.
And
ladies
this
gentlemen.
is the part of the program where we answer one of the questions sent in by a viewer. And if you don't know how to send in questions, you could either DM at Peace King Pod or DM us individually at Trail_Maurice at the Hungry HD, or you can leave it in the comments under one of the videos.
That's lit too.
We're gonna get to it. And so this next question was sent in by somebody on Instagram.
Indeed.
And it was advice for younger women dating older men.
It's a tale as old as time. A rhyme as old as rhyme. You understand what I'm saying? It's the youngin' and the old one.
Yeah.
The beauty and the beast. Because but as you get older, you're a beast in the game. And it do be them young little beauties that be trying to get the older dude. It's a tale as old as time because it's men like attractive women. Younger women tend to be a bit more
Mature than men, yeah.
no, but like, yeah, you're right on that one. But I'm saying like the young women tend to be a bit more aesthetically.
I need a tissue at
It's
this
not always. It's not always. Ladies, my older ladies, my mature ladies don't attack me. I'm just saying.
No, you know
that
what?
a younger woman has like you. That's why older women on Throwback Thursdays they be posting the pictures with the
Younger women
They be attractive.
They ain't hit their peak yet.
They ain't-
Listen, before
I'm
you,
talking
before,
aesthetics only,
No,
not
I know.
mental, not value. I'm talking looks only.
I'm let the people come for me. I'm before you start.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, listen now.
Cause we get older, we beasts, bruh. When I say beasts, I mean we killing.
My brother here, as he
game.
should, is being very nice and politically correct. But I just want to say, ladies, you start getting up in age. He laughing already. Listen, don't be afraid to get your ass in that gym. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna just keep it 100. Look,
Keep it at that.
and I love
Keep it
y'all
100.
because listen, we both have a lot of women that follow us
Yeah, yes.
of all nationalities, shapes, sizes, ages.
Yeah.
And we love all of y'all the same.
We love y'all.
And that's not just like podcast talk. That's not just like pandering to the audience. I'm keeping it a buck. We love y'all. But at the same time, I wouldn't be real if I didn't sit up here and talk to you like this. Like at the same, like
facts.
it's just like health. I know people say like I'm healthy though. I went to the doctor. The bottom line and the fact is, the older you get, the more weight you carry, the more stress you put on your body, your organs, so on and so forth. Heart disease, diabetes,
Yes.
stroke, all that is like
Watch
prevalent
what
in
you
the black
eat.
community. And it's the number one killer
It is.
of our race. So at the end of the day, like don't play around with that. Number two,
Put the donut down.
number two, a lot of y'all want men of whatever type, or you like looking for somebody, you grading your chances by being put together. And nobody's saying that you have to look like a fake IG model or centerfold.
Right.
Like just
Right, facts.
just be active.
I
Take
like
care
a
of
little
yourself.
stretch mark.
Right.
I don't
Like
mind a
nobody
little
care about
celly,
that. Yeah. Like nobody care.
I like, bruh.
And if you are
like
a
that.
shapely woman, you got a few pounds on you, carry that shit well. Carry that shit like you meant to do it.
And with pride.
Yeah, like be confident because
Yes.
that's what
Wear that-
confidence take you a long way.
Confidence and appropriate attire.
That too.
Wear clothes that enhance your great
Put
curves.
that shit on. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if any of you need Spanx,
Oh, whatever it is.
then yeah, I don't want to see them though. I don't want to see the Spanx. I don't.
Nah, the Spanx. Well, you got to keep it 100.
Take
If you
them
wear the
shirts off
Spanx,
on
you
the
got
low
to
ski- those.
you got to keep it 100.
But that's
though.
a little catfishish.
That's why I said you got to keep it 100.
Okay.
Like
Nah, I'm
you got to make sure that
But
he's
nonetheless.
in line with that. Yeah, but anyway,
Nonetheless, they got stuff to cover the back rolls,
All of that.
shorties and all
They got that.
Y'all got stuff galore. But
All of that.
nonetheless, hey, this neither here nor there. The Beauty and the Beast, yes, to the point. Stay in the gym, ladies, because to the analogy, I use the Beauty and the Beast analogy because of the song, but I feel like it's relevant to the younger women, the older man, because younger women, men are attracted to beauty a lot, and women are attracted to a man who's killing the game financially and is established. And I'm saying he's a beast when his finances are on point, his mental game is on point, his emotional maturity should be on point, but that may not always be the case with just the standard beast, right?
Yeah.
But I think that younger women look for older men because they're a bit more established and stable and financially on point. And I think that those men look at beauty because they don't need the woman who is super educated, who's business super savvy, all of that, because they already have accomplished that. All they're looking for is someone who they're looking for a companionship, the beauty, and someone to just they could rock with, to support them.
no, that's a great point.
You know, so that's why I just say that any advice on a younger woman that's sinking an older man, the only advice I would get if you're a younger woman and you want and you desire an older man, stay in the gym, keep your aesthetic up, and work on being a supportive mate. And whatever he has going on, whatever his passion is, be a supportive mate. Build him up. Make his life easy. Be a peaceful, feminine, fit, and friendly woman.
Listen,
That's all you got to do.
that's it. And
Now,
just
I'm not saying I prefer that myself because, we two kings, we two beasts in the game. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I prefer the younger woman. I'm just, again, answering the question.
yeah, just answering the
Advice
question.
for a younger woman to ask, what should she do? Those are the things you should do,
Absolutely.
in my opinion.
And at the end of the day, look, like they say, it's somebody for everybody. So even if you listen to me, listen to what I said, and say, "Oh, fuck HD," you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm staying. This is the body. This summer gonna get the body I'm coming out with. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. I get it. Like, I'm not mad at you. I still love you, Queen. You know what I mean? Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, because look, I got a few pounds on me. But I think the thing is that I'm actively working to change it. And that's really all I'm talking about.
That's
Just
what
like
it
just
is.
actively working towards it. Like,
on,
and you might not ever hit the end result or the perfect goal, but as long as you working and just trying to stay healthy, that's it. So that's all I was saying with that point, not for it to be missed. But the thing, I guess the advice I would give on my end is for younger women with older men, sometime the grass ain't always green on the other side. Like, there are a lot of older men who are less mature than you think they are. I guess is the words I'm looking for.
Oh yeah, age and maturity don't travel at the same pace.
Right. And so there's a lot of older men who may be financially set, you know what I'm saying, who may have other things going on that are materialistic and so on and so forth, but don't have the emotional maturity to go along with it. You know what I'm saying? That don't have the awareness to go along with it and the insight. And so if that's, because that's why a lot of women sometimes go for older women, because it's like, I mean, older women go for younger women go for older men, because they feel like the men in their age bracket are so immature. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why they leave that age bracket. But it don't always work out like that. It don't always work out in your favor. It's not that simple. So you just got to take each person case by case. And what I would say is just be attentive. Lock into that man. What I feel like is missing from women when it comes to men is that attention to detail. I feel like that's very lacking.
Attention to details, Keith.
Yeah, and I feel like we that's definitely gonna be a topic on one of the episodes, because we need to go into that deeper. But
Paul.
yeah.
I don't
Well, I don't. Yeah, it might not.
That's not
yeah,
you.
that was-
Actually, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I was not for. So
I digress.
nah, it's all good. Better safe than sorry. You know what I'm saying? So just pay attention to the man that you're dealing with, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this man about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does he bring to the table? How can I supplement, you know what I mean, whatever he has going on? How can I facilitate his greatness? Is he facilitating mine? You know what I mean? How teamwork make the dream work.
Teamwork make the dream work.
That's it.
Nah, hey man, I think that's solid advice to get to the young lady, bro. And with the be aware of the type of man that you're with.
Yeah.
I think it does. I think that's a good segue to the final joint, bro.
Yeah.
You're bugging.
You're bugging.
Come on,
King's
man.
Corner.
King's Corner over here.
Well, we got.
I saw something because we said be aware of the type of man that you got. I saw you bugging again. King's Corner. We going to be addressing things from the fellas here. Okay. So I saw something this week, bro. This man said, if I marry a woman, her children must call me dad because it's disrespectful if they call me by my name. I respond to him,
bruh,
as a blanket statement, you're bugging.
You're bugging.
Straight up and down. I think that the term dad is an earned title.
That's a fact.
Father, that's biology. You're biologically the father. The DNA matches.
Right.
Okay, that's your blood in the child.
Right.
You're the father. Right? I mean, you remember the Maury show. You are not the father.
You are
Did they
not.
say the dad?
They did not say
They
that.
did that for a reason. Not to say that's a staple. I just came up as an example. They didn't say you're the dad.
They
No,
definitely
they always
didn't
say
say
you're
that.
the father because you fathered a child.
It's a fact.
Anyone can be a father.
Yes.
Everyone can't be a dad. A dad is you're there. Now I'm not saying that man who I would give him props, but I don't even know his name or nothing. I'm not saying he was not acting in the role of a dad and deserved it, but to demand it off rip only because you married the mom, I think that's a fallacy. I think that's not a good thing. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't do that. I was in the situation before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you I was married for 7 years. When I met her, she had a daughter. The daughter
facts.
was 2. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
I was at her 3rd birthday party. By the time she was 4.5, on her own, she started calling me dad. I earned it.
Right.
It was never forced.
Right.
I had a conversation with her biological father, who was her dad as well, because he was active, good dude.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, if you ever take issue with it, then she don't got to call me that. We could figure out something else.
Yeah.
And he didn't take issue because I was an active man in her life that was guiding her. I taught her how to tie her shoes. I taught her how to ride a bike, how to, do an essay, her electric scooter, like all of that. I could go on and on. Her picture is right there.
It is.
She's 14 years old now. We got divorced when she was like 10. Raised her for 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm still raising her, bruh.
Yeah.
She lives 7 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
She still calls me dad. It's an earned title.
Yeah. That's a fact.
And you gotta step up to the plate to still keep the title of dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it is what it is. I take it to heart. I got a biological child. You know what I mean? Of course, he calls me dad. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's my blood. Plus, hey, there was no earning with that because I was there for day one. I cut their umbilical. But my point is here. I think it's not in good standing. It's not good moral standing, that is, to demand the title of dad without the work. Merely because you married their mom.
Right. Like, on so many levels, that's just wild because if the biological father is in their life still, what the fuck, what are we doing? Like,
Come on, man.
what about that? Like, you think that I'm going to be cool, like, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
But actually, what I wanted to say while you were saying that, shout out to her biological father because he actually was cool with that, and that's emotional maturity right there.
You want to know why? You want to know another reason why it was cool?
Talk about it.
Here's a tip for y'all out there. I haven't shared this with many. When I knew I was serious with that woman,
Yeah.
and I knew I was going to engage eventually, I sent him an email. Oh, I know his email, right? I mean, I didn't have his number like that, but I know his email. And this is back in 2010, 11. We were in Germany. Cell phones we had it, but hey, I sent him an email. I was like, yo, let's go get coffee or something.
Yeah.
God, I just wanted to chat it up. He accepted the invitation.
Okay.
We had coffee. I had 3 primary objectives to speak on to accomplish. I was like, yo, these are my 3 primary points. Sub down, I was like, hey, I feel like I'm going to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be around your daughter.
Yeah.
I think it's important for you to know who I am.
Yeah.
And I just told him who I was. Told him my
Solid.
background. Told him what I'm about.
Yeah.
What are my personal, values and stuff like that. That was one thing. And then I asked him about himself. Cool. 2, I had to let him know, hey, I'm not here to replace you. My goal is to just be a positive real male role model in your daughter's life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I need you to know who I am, come be around. I feel like it's important.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to replace you at all. Like, yo. And then the third thing was, and I told him, like, yo, I'm not trying to replace you. What I see is we can all be in this. If she had a soccer game, for example, why can't we all be there? Because all of our collective goal, our common goal, if you will, is to raise this young woman to be a dope member of society.
Absolutely.
Boom. And then number 3, I told him, hey, you have to communicate with her mom. I expect that. I actually desire that because that's healthy co-parenting with you.
Right.
All I ask for is if you find yourself getting frustrated or upset, or you want to call her out of her name, or you want to yell, I just ask that you pause, take a step back, and you don't. And you can use me as a mediator if you want to. And then if that's the case, I don't see why this thing can't be just a cool situation. And it has been cool since that conversation, bro.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Trell.
Amen.
Emotional maturity at its best right there. That right there, I mean, look.
Bro, I was 25.
That was a
when I
TED
did
Talk.
that.
That was a TED Talk right there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we take this clip, put it on a TED Talk joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, because totally disarmed him. You know what I mean? Like, and those were bars for the other guy, the new guy coming in. Like, they can follow that roadmap.
Indeed.
And
He can
use
do that with me.
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
Because as the original guy, especially when we're talking about parents, and so you feel like there's always like this sense of aura of like threatening, right? Because there's especially if you co-parenting and there's time that's split between, there's a huge portion of time, or at least half portion of time, where you're not in your child's presence. And so if you know that they're together, he's gonna be there.
Right.
And you don't know what the hell is going on when you're not there.
Come on,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? So all type of things could run through your mind.
Talk about
And
it.
so by you having that conversation, you just cut, you know what I'm saying? Cut a lot of that short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like letting you know this is the type of guy I am. This is, you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? These are what I bring to the table, my expectations. I hope, you know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like I'm not trying to overstep, or you know what I mean? Like let's work together. Again,
Facts.
teamwork make the dream work.
And then you know what's crazy is that if people stay true to their preferences, you're gonna have the similarities.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because the woman had a preference.
Yeah.
So him and I weren't too far off. There was a time, like stories, there was a time where they were just having disagreements in their communication, right? And remember, I told them straight up, so this is months, to the right of that initial conversation. I was doing he had her for the weekend, our daughter for the weekend, right? I'm sorry, I take ownership of that. I mean, hey, I put I invest a lot of time into my little boo now. But, I mean, he's a great dad, too. I'm not taking anything away from him. She's just fortunate she has two dads.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he had took her to, like, the Carnival Fair or something like that. Quick story. And I'm picking her up.
Yeah.
Right? So we roll up or whatever to the meet-up point or whatnot. I'm getting her because it's like a Sunday evening, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting her. We're playing the same mixtape. Mixtape just released. I think it was like Fabulous, like latest mixtape. You know what I mean? Like Summer Dreams or something
Funeral
like that.
service or something.
Nah, it was one of the Summer Shootouts or Summer Dreams.
Summer Shootout,
Yeah,
yeah,
Summer
yeah,
Shootouts, something like that, right? Summer Shootout 2, I think. But nonetheless, we're playing the same mixtape at the time. That's a similarity. That was just a funny thing or whatnot.
You had on the same shirt?
Nah, we didn't have the same shirt. But in that moment, it was, and we were in the same kind of career-ish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in that moment, it just dawned on me like, yo, women be having the similar preferences. I mean, we all got preferences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, this man and I, we were somewhat similar in certain things or whatever. So it should have made it easier.
Yeah.
Now, there was one time, if you see this, that'll be hilarious. There was one time it was a little awkward. We were playing basketball, and he had to guard me. This was open court. I didn't expect him to be there. The gym used to be popping. We were in Ramstein, Germany, bro. Yeah. We were both Air Force. And, like, yo, he had to guard me. Bro, I bust his ass, bro. Oh, no. Like, yo, I probably should have said that. But anyway, like, yo, I killed him. And they ragged him. Because people knew.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. It just is what it is. It be like
Listen,
that.
man, you
No
can't-
but hey,
Can't change the facts, man.
it is what it is. You know
Nuts
what I
so
mean?
they can't erase what we work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me. Yeah, hey, hey, man. Nah, that's an above the rim classic right there. I like that reference.
Yeah.
Yo, but yeah, man. Well, I don't even remember the question. What was the question? What we was
Oh, we just talking about.
Oh yeah, that was the you bugging. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I don't expect that, man. You shouldn't expect that. Especially the older the kids. The older the kids, they're gonna choose.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
It's a fact. Like you said, it's earned,
that.
not given.
Indeed.
And that's just the bottom line. So
All right.
he's definitely bugging.
Yeah, man. Hey, don't be bugging out there.
At all.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
It feels good, man.
Nah, it does.
It feels good. And then knowing that the editing is about to be on point,
fire.
knowing that like, yo, we still open and available for any type of sponsors or whatever to want to come on board and get shout out. This thing is growing.
Facts.
It will continue to grow.
Facts.
It's going to be big.
Facts.
Manifesting that thing.
Absolutely.
Knowing it's coming to fruition. This is the beginning. Get in on the ground floor.
Got to.
You know what I'm saying?
Got to.
Stay hungry.
Listen.
Do good, stay fly. Try my Reese brain.
You got to.
What we doing here, man?
Gotta do it.
Hey, man, let's plug the stuff one time for the 2-time, bro. Let the people know. Like, where can they find us, bro?
You can find us on Instagram at Peace King Pod, right? You can find us individually on Instagram as well. I am at The Hungry HD.
And you can find your boy at Trell_Maurice. TRELL_MAURICE. You know what time it is, man.
And I feel like it's important I say this part. I haven't said this yet on the pod.
Go ahead, bro.
So we've had a lot of talk, whether on lives or whatever, about how negative. Everybody knows, I guess at this point, negativity spreads faster than anything else, and a lot of people are tired of seeing negativity being promoted.
Okay.
Especially, listen, shout out to my queens, black women.
Love the black women.
Tired of seeing
Love
themselves.
all women.
Right.
Got a special place in my heart for those sisters, though.
It's only right. Tired of seeing themselves portrayed negatively on podcasts.
Yeah.
Which we agree we're tired of too. And one of the reasons we started this. And generally those clips are the clips that go viral though and get notoriety.
Trying to make our sisters look back.
So obviously you see the vibe here. Episode 3, by now you see the vibe. You see what we doing. If you want to see more positivity, you have to promote the positivity.
Come on now.
If you want the positivity to outweigh and outgrow the negativity, then you got to do your part. So please subscribe,
Like and subscribe.
comment, share,
Pay it forward.
post, all that. You know what I'm saying? It costs you nothing. It does us wonders. You know what I'm saying? It keeps us moving, builds the momentum, lays more eyes on us. The brand grows.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean?
Hey, man, this was a joy, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, every time, man.
We in the game.
Peace, King.
Peace, King. I got a little bit left. Let me get that little.